Hi everybody, I'm Miss Fame, NYC. Today is my very first makeup tutorial. Now you've been asking daily, begging, pleading with me, please Miss Fame, give me your face. Well, I'm going to give it to you the best way I know how, and a step-by-step tutorial. I hope you enjoy, and I really do hope that you learn a few tricks of my trade, and I can't wait for you to see everything that I do, obviously, to a level of flawless. And at the very end of the video, please stay tuned. You're going to see something absolutely amazing.
Let's get started. I'm cleaning my brow with alcohol and a cotton ball. Elmer's glue stick against the grain, down towards the eye and back out with the direction of hair. Use a brush to comb upward. Blow dry them against the face flat, cold air. Extra glue if you need more coverage. I have a big brow, so I do need more coverage. Loose powder in clown white and a powder puff. This absorbs excess moisture from the glue. Makes a great base for your foundation. Krylon TV paint stick in W4. Blend with a sponge. Using more clown white. Then follow through with MAC Painterly all over the lid and over the brow cover. When creating a new crease, I like to use, for this look, Smoldering by MAC. I will be blending it with a 224 MAC brush. As you can see, I've drawn the line into the socket line and not into the actual eyelid to create more space. Using my neutral palette, I'll be using Carbon, Copper Plate, and Brulee to get a cool, smoky crease. Using a 217 brush, I first start by stippling the shadow into the crease, and then small circular motions to blend out the edges. Now I'm using a 228 followed by a 239 MAC brush to get the line refined with carbon black eyeshadow. To get a long cat-like line, I'm smudging, smoldering into the base of the root of my lash, all the way across and extend to the tail of the crease. Using the 242 and smoldering on the back of my hand, I'm loading the brush and smudging the liner. This gives a very diffused finish, helps me to blend all my edges. Now moving on to skin and foundation, I'm prepping my skin with the Photo Finish Primer all over exposed skin. This product is wonderful. It makes the surface smooth and it takes the foundation gorgeously. Right now I'm applying a very full coverage foundation, the W4 by Krylon as mentioned earlier, all over entire face and neck. The Beauty Blender. This is an amazing sponge. I just picked this up at Sephora. How you use it is you'll get it completely soaking wet, squeegee it out, and then you'll just go over your entire foundation application. It makes the foundation absolutely seamless. It's amazing, and it doesn't remove it. It leaves the skin looking flawless. I'm going to use a Studio Finish concealer and NW15. The brush I'm using is a 193 by MAC. I'm going to highlight under my eyes, around my nose. The shaping, I guess you would say, is a triangular shape. It's accentuating my bone structure. The tip of my chin in a little highlight spot, a circle in the forehead, and then a strip right down the center of the nose to get you a very refined nose. I'm going to blend those edges out with the Beauty Blender, lightly tap on the bridge. Now to contour, Studio Finish Concealer in NW50 by MAC. I'm going to use a larger brush. I like to use the 190 by MAC. And you're going to complement the shapes that you put in with the highlight, but leaving space from the previous foundation. Cut that cheekbone, straight from the ear to the corner of the mouth. And I like to minimize my jawbone, so right underneath the ear on top of the bone structure and the chin, and feathered through the neckline. My famous nose contour, I like to use a 195 MAC paintbrush and W50 concealer, the same. I go right against that highlight strip that's on top of the bridge of my nose, and I'm just hugging that line. If you've got a bigger nostril, I'd like to also contour it to make the nose look extremely tiny and pinched. Using the Beauty Blender again, loaded with the foundation that you've already blended with, just go over that contour color. This will just soften all those edges and give a beautiful dimensional new face. To blend the contour of my nose, I like to use this wedge sponge. I got these at Alcone, they're great. I cut the tip with hair scissors to get a little bit more width, and I just tap it along the highlight line. It gives you a beautifully whittled, tiny, tiny nose. It's one of my favorite features in drag makeup. If you make a mistake, it's all cream foundation. You can literally go over with the brushes you used earlier with your highlight and your contour and go over them and get them refined. As you can see, I'm pushing my contour a little bit further as I've blended it all away. Now to set your highlight color, I'm using a powder puff loaded with clown white and banana powder mixed underneath the eyes, the center of the forehead, the chin, and as you'll see shortly, the bridge of the nose and also the nostrils. A little trick I'll show you in a minute. I like to set my foundation with colors that coordinate. So my mid-tone's going to be a little bit deeper, and the contour is going to be a little bit deeper as well. The powders I like to use are the Makeup Forever Super Matte Loose Powders. So I'm using 3 different shades all over the face, strategically placed. Once your face is completely covered in powder, you can let it set. They call this cooking in the drag world. I usually let it set for 5 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and use a big fluffy brush to dust away the excess powder, and then follow through with a contour color. So I'm actually using in this step the Alcone sponge wedge with the clown white right down the center of the nose and the nostrils. This stage gets a bit messy. Don't worry about it. It's just powder. You can dust it right away. It'll be fine. So now I'm using the MAC 129 to dust away the excess powder, and I'm going to follow right through into contouring with the MAC 109 and Blunt. I'm going over the temples, the forehead, and right into the cheekbone. I'm pushing my contour even further. I'm going to go over my jawbone and also my chin to minimize those areas. Make me look more like a lady. Now when I'm going in to detail my nose, I'm going to use a little bit of Bamboo eyeshadow by MAC and a 217 brush just to give a nice soft edge, and then I'll refine it using something a little bit deeper and a smaller brush. The 219 is a great brush just to get that really fine razor tipped nose. As you can see, the detail. Oh, my favorite blush. It's Melba blush by MAC Cosmetics, and I'm using a 168 blush brush by MAC. It's actually a contouring brush. It's got an angle at the end. It's great. I like to hit the cheekbones, the chin, the temples, and even the top of the forehead right there to add some warmth to the face. Now highlighting, this is one of my secret weapons. I'm going on the top of my cheekbones with this product called the Balm Overshadow in No Money, No Honey. The brush is a 227. Stipple that out the highest point of your cheekbone. Go over the bow of your lip, the chin, buff out onto the center of the forehead, and then going straight back with the 219, just add that little highlight tip to the very tip of your nose. Using Smoldering for a graphic line, I'll be blending with a 242 MAC brush and setting with Carbon Black MAC eyeshadow. A little trick that I'm going to show you, I'll be using a 211 MAC brush with Collodium powder and Aqua Seal by Makeup Forever. It's waterproof, and I'll be adding it just as a highlight on the inner corner of the eye. This is a great trick to manipulate the light. Now I'd like to use Makeup Forever Aqualine in number 13. It gives a very precise finish and gets rid of any dust that may have settled from the powder. Using Makeup Forever's Smoky Extravagant Mascara, go over the top and bottom previously curled lash. Now moving on to the brows, I'm using MAC brow pencils and Lingering and Fling. Etch out the shape with Fling for a soft and natural blonde brow. Any shape you'd like to create, just go for it. Now for a slight ombre, I used Lingering at the tail, and I'm just going to set with a 263 brush, that's a flat angle MAC brush, using Bamboo on the inner brow, and setting at the tail Embark eyeshadow by MAC. For precision, I'm going to use the same brush, a 263 MAC flat angle brush, NW15 Studio Finish Concealer, and re-iterate right around the brow line. Blend, blend, blend. It's all about the detail with the brow. And I'm definitely known for the brow, so this is why I get my brows to look like the way they do. Take a little bit more time for these girls. As you can see, symmetric and very fierce. Moving on to the lips. I didn't actually use all these colors, but they were good references. I'm using, as a base color, this is the Matisse Elite line that they carry at Ricky's in Candy. A very soft, cool pink. I'm just going to put this all over the lip. I'm going for a matte finish. My mid-tone color, and starting to really push the exaggeration of my lip bow, in Boldly Bare by MAC. And then to give that third dimension or an ombre finish, I'm going to use MAC's lip liner in Plum. You can blend that lip line with a flat angle brush by MAC in a 263. For a more dramatic pout, I'm using Makeup Forever Foundation Palette White in 070. I'm also going to use that same color on the inside of my waterline to give me a very big and doll-like eye. That's a very classic drag trick right there. Now I'm going to set my face with Green Marble setting spray. This will keep it in place all night. It actually will make it waterproof. Final step, the lashes. I'm using Duo in black, and I'm going to cut my lashes in half and stack them alternating left to right on the eye. The set I used in this tutorial were a base set of Alcone lashes in number 322, followed by a Da Vinci set in number 101, and a final huge drag lash by Garland in number 301. Full face fantasy. Wasn't that gorgeous? If you could leave me any comments below, that would be absolutely amazing. Bye!